The Ultimatum. The announcement was made without warning, disrupting the hum of the Galactic Council session. The screens flickered, and an imposing figure filled the view. Supreme Commander Tevrel of the Veritans. His stern gaze surveyed the Council, a weighty silence preceding his words. "Council members, fellow species of the cosmos," Tevrel began, "we, the Veritans, give humanity an ultimatum. Halt your reckless expansion and colonization immediately." Tevrel's words echoed through the council chamber, sparking a flurry of whispers among the representatives. The Veritans, one of the oldest and most respected civilizations in the galaxy, had spoken. Back aboard the Argonaut, Captain Rolar watched Tevrel's broadcast with a stoic expression. His crew shared apprehensive glances, their tasks momentarily forgotten. The atmosphere aboard the Argonaut had transformed from tension to an undercurrent of dread. "Supreme Commander Tevrel's words are not to be taken lightly," Rolar declared to his crew, his voice resolute. "However, we must remember our mission and our responsibility to humanity. We cannot falter under pressure." A murmur of agreement filled the room, a testament to the trust they placed in their captain. The uncertainty that lingered was met with a newfound determination. They were ready to face whatever came their way. Meanwhile, on the colony ship, news of the Veritan ultimatum sowed seeds of unrest. Despite this, the ship pressed on towards its destination, the colonialists clinging to the hope of their new home. The uncertainty, however, had left a mark. The fear of an impending war with the Veritans gnawed at the edges of their minds. Back at the council, Elijah, the human representative, stood amid a storm of reactions. The Veritan ultimatum had put humanity in the spotlight. The council was divided, the tension palpable. In his speech, Tevrel voiced a sentiment shared by many. "Humans, you are children among the stars, and yet you upset the delicate balance of the cosmos. You disregard the harmony we have fostered for millennia. This cannot continue." The implications of Tevrel's words were clear. For the first time in their century-long membership in the Council, humans were openly being considered a potential threat. The mounting pressure was straining the delicate cord of peace. Despite the weight of Tevrel's words, Elijah held his ground. "We hear your concerns, Supreme Commander," he responded, projecting a calm he didn't feel. "But remember, we too are a part of this galaxy, with the same rights to expansion as any other." His words were met with a mixed response. Some representatives nodded in agreement, while others scowled. But the ultimatum had been delivered, the gauntlet thrown. The galaxy was watching humanity, and the next move would set the course of events. As the council session adjourned, the impact of the ultimatum was felt across the galaxy. Alliances were being tested, and sides were being taken. The balance of power was shifting. An epical confrontation was on the horizon, and all that remained was for the events to unfold. The Unforeseen Complication. Days passed in a tense standoff. Each side waited for the other to make a move, the universe holding its collective breath. Aboard the Argonaut, Captain Rolar and his crew continued to monitor the Veritan warship, their resolve unshaken despite the uncertainty. Simultaneously on the colony ship, anticipation gave way to apprehension as the reality of the situation set in. It was then that the unforeseen complication emerged. Upon reaching their destination, the colonialists discovered a startling fact. The planet was not uninhabited as they had believed. The planet teemed with life, and among the native flora and fauna was a semi-sentient humanoid species. These beings, primitive yet unique, posed an unprecedented challenge to the colonists. The discovery sent ripples of shock through the colonists. Parents whispered among themselves while children, intrigued by the new species, eagerly asked questions. The ship's scientists and anthropologists were quick to study these beings, observing their behaviors and interactions from a distance. The news reached the Argonaut, causing Captain Rolar to furrow his brow. "This changes everything," he said, staring at the data on the screen. The presence of semi-sentient beings on the planet was indeed a game-changer. Rolar immediately contacted Elijah on the council. "Start the negotiations," he ordered Elijah. "We cannot let this incident tip the balance against us." Back on the colony ship, the situation quickly escalated. Encounters between the colonists and the humanoid beings started peaceful but soon turned hostile. The colonists, caught between their desire for a new home and their fear of the unknown, reacted out of self-preservation. Reports of the aggression reached Rolar. "We have no choice," he said grimly. He gave the order to defend the colonists, even if it meant removing the semi-sentient beings from their path. The command was carried out with brutal efficiency. The humanoid beings, unable to match the technology and strength of the human colonists, were quickly overwhelmed. Scenes of fear and devastation filled the colony ship's cameras. What had started as an endeavor of hope had transformed into a tragic struggle for survival. Word of the conflict reached the Veritan warship. Their advanced technology picked up a transmission that alluded to the tragic events unfolding on the planet. The Veritans were on high alert. Their sensors detected a significant increase in energy discharges from the colony ship, indicative of a large-scale conflict. Commander Viril analyzed the intercepted transmission. The implication was clear, and the news he was about to deliver to Supreme Commander Tavrel was grave. Unbeknownst to the humans, they had just added fuel to an already blazing fire. Amid the turmoil, the Veritan warship continued to shadow the colony ship, each passing moment further entrenching the bitter standoff. The entire galaxy seemed poised on the edge of a precipice. It was a test of endurance, of courage, and of the human will to survive. On the Galactic Council, the tension mounted. Elijah, aware of the complications on the colony planet, grappled with the worsening political scenario. His concern was twofold: keeping the Council's aggression at bay while ensuring the safety of the colonists. The stakes were higher than ever. The path ahead was filled with uncertainty, and the journey had just begun. Consequences and deception. The aftershocks of the conflict on the colony planet reverberated through the galaxy. On board the Argonaut, Captain Rolar and his crew watched the recorded footage of the devastating action, their faces etched with regret. The price of their survival had been unexpectedly steep. Rolar looked out into the vastness of space, his mind grappling with the weight of his decision. Meanwhile, on the Galactic Council, Elijah was in a heated conversation with the other representatives. His passionate defense of humanity's actions was met with resistance, the majority of the council members opposing the human expansion. The council was divided, the strain of the situation deepening the cracks. "We cannot stand by while you put innocent lives in jeopardy," argued a Skarn representative, his voice echoing in the hall. "Your species' expansion at the cost of others will not be tolerated." Elijah retorted, "Every species has the right to secure its survival. We are not warmongers. We are colonists, settlers looking for a place to call home." The heated debate continued, Elijah's every word scrutinized by the council. His position was becoming increasingly untenable, the odds stacked against him. He knew he had to convince the Council of Humanity's peaceful intentions before the Veritans revealed the incident on the colony planet. Time was of the essence. Elsewhere on the Veritan warship, Supreme Commander Tavrel listened to Commander Viril's report with a grave expression. The intercepted transmission and the energy discharges from the colony ship painted a grim picture. "If our interpretation is correct, it suggests the humans have caused a mass extermination of a semi-sentient species," Viril reported, his voice heavy with disapproval. "We have to confirm this," Tavrel replied. "Send a stealth probe to the colony planet. We need irrefutable evidence." Aboard the colony ship, the aftermath of the conflict was stark. The once vibrant landscapes were marred by signs of devastation, and the remaining semi-sentient beings watched the humans from a distance, their fear palpable. The colonists began their work on rebuilding, the guilt of their actions a constant shadow. Unbeknownst to them, the Veritan stealth probe arrived, recording the scene in chilling detail. It captured the remnants of the conflict, the defensive structures erected by the colonists, and the fearful humanoid beings cowering in their shelters. In the midst of this, Rolar ordered the transmission of a falsified report to the Galactic Council. The report, expertly manipulated, painted a picture of the colonists living peacefully with the humanoid beings, the images showing scenes of cooperation and cohabitation. As the Veritan probe collected its damning evidence and the doctored report made its way to the Council, the stage was set for a clash that would shake the foundations of the Galactic Council. The echoes of a coming storm were beginning to resonate across the universe, the tremors felt by all those involved. Revelation and shock. Back in the Galactic Council, Elijah received the falsified report from the colony planet. The doctored images showed the colonists working hand in hand with the semi-sentient beings, fostering what appeared to be a peaceful coexistence. Emboldened by the seemingly convincing evidence, Elijah addressed the council, projecting the manipulated images for all to see. "Look at this," he declared. "We have not invaded or destroyed, but we've chosen to coexist with the semi-sentient beings of our colony planet. This is the true face of humanity, not the warmongering species you accuse us of being." His words, coupled with the evidence, appeared to sway the council members. Some seemed convinced, others skeptical, but all were quiet, absorbing the information presented before them. A murmur of debates started, the council chamber buzzing with discussions. Meanwhile, aboard the Veritan warship, Supreme Commander Tevrel reviewed the stealth probe's findings with a hardened expression. The evidence was irrefutable: devastation, fear amongst the semi-sentient beings, and a distinct lack of harmony. It was a stark contrast to the images Elijah had presented to the council. "Commander Verl," Tevrel ordered, "transmit the probe's findings to the Galactic Council and request an immediate session." As the Veritans' evidence made its way to the council, Captain Rolar received the disturbing news. A cold dread spread through him. His subterfuge was about to be exposed. He had hoped for more time, but fate, it seemed, was not on his side. In the Galactic Council, an emergency session was called to order. Tension was thick in the air as the representatives braced for the Veritans' revelations. The message from the Veritans was clear and sent ripples of shock through the chamber. "We present to you the truth." The stealth probe's footage was projected, displaying a reality far removed from the earlier depictions. The council watched in stunned silence as the scenes of destruction, fear, and deceit unfolded before them. Elijah, taken aback, struggled to come up with a response. The representatives turned to him, their expressions ranging from disbelief to anger. His protestations fell on deaf ears, his credibility tarnished. Back on the Argonaut, Captain Rolar watched the proceedings with a heavy heart. His gambit had failed, the dire consequences just beginning to unfold. The confrontation with the Veritans loomed like a specter over the ship, over humanity's future in the galaxy. The stage was set for an interstellar trial, the implications of which could affect humanity's position within the Council, and perhaps even their survival. But more than that, it was a trial of humanity's values, ethics, and their ability to coexist peacefully with other sentient beings in the vast cosmos. The final act was about to begin, and the eyes of the galaxy were watching, waiting to pass judgment.